Everybody, how are you? This is Donnie from Passover Listings. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful Hanukkah and enjoying their time off and time with their family. Pesach is right around the corner, and as we love Pesach so much, we're going to bring on another program operator in a couple minutes to talk about his Pesach programs. I say programs because he runs multiple programs around the globe. And again, of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to jump in and ask any questions and listen to this wonderful interview that we're going to be having around Pesach programs, around his Pesach programs, and talk about all the specifics that you guys are looking for. And as always, it's not easy to find the Pesach program. We know that. So feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to help you. But again, in a couple minutes, we are going to jump on with a program operator who's been around for many, many, many years. Probably one of the most early ones that started, right, really the Pesach program industry. And we'll kind of dive into the specifics around the program and all the nuts and bolts, from what they're having for dinner to who they're having for their entertainers, all the way to the hotel and the amenities and the things to do there. So if you are looking for a Pesach program, this could be a great option for you. And you can always reach out, check out PassoverListings.com and go from there. So we are just waiting for them to join and jump on, and then we will get started. And always let us know where you're going. We always love to know if you're going to Europe this year. I mean, this year you got 4 consecutive days of Chol Hamoed. It's one of the best years to go away and travel, in my opinion, right? Because you got an extra day of Pesach this year, and you got 4 consecutive days, so you can actually go travel and do some stuff. Even though you got 3-day Yom Tov in the first days and 3-day Yom Tov in the second days, so there's a lot to do out there. While we're waiting for him to join, just to give you a little bit of overview, there's programs all around the world this year. I mean, in new destinations. There's a new program this year in Chile. There's a new program this year in Japan. And there's there's a new program this year in Guatemala. And there are a lot of really great programs and great destinations. Obviously, you have all around the United States, many in Florida, on the West Coast, in Arizona, and then you got in Panama, and you got Costa Rica, and all around Europe. So if you're looking to go to Europe, you can go away to Greece this year. You go to Spain or Italy, Croatia, Cyprus, Portugal. So many different destinations. And if you want to go to the Caribbean, you can go to the Bahamas this year. And there's going to be a new program this year in Aruba as well coming out. And then, of course, you got your Mexico programs too as well. So there are a lot of programs out there for everyone. If you are looking, for price, there's 2 things people want. We always say, and this is why we actually started this podcast, this website, Passover Listings. People want to know pricing, and they want to have reviews. So thankfully, you can go on our Facebook group, Passover Program Reviews, take a look at it. It's thousands of reviews from people who've actually attended these programs. You get the good, the bad, the ugly. You get the truth out there before you spend thousands of dollars, which is really what you guys probably are looking for. And then we created last year a really cool pricing tool. So for the first time ever, you guys should take a peek at it, and you can put in the number of people in your party, the kids' age ranges, and it spits out a price for every program out there that meets your needs, based on your budget and based on how many kids you have, and if you're single, there's pricing for that. So you can take a peek at that, and it's very directional, very close to a pretty nice quote, but you can get a sense of what these things cost, right? So if you want to go to Europe for 2 adults, you can find something for $4,000 to $5,000, in fact. Whereas other programs may cost, $18,000 to $20,000. So just take a look at that, and you can take a look at the pricing. While you guys are tuning in here, let me just see where they are at, and then we will jump into a really nice, fun interview very, very shortly. So bear with me for 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. We are ready to, we're just waiting for him to join, and then we'll get started here. Okay, there we go. I think I'm just going to be inviting them. Thanks everybody for jumping on. Again, we're going to be doing a wonderful, really fun interview with a program operator right now. There we go. All right.
Donnie.
Hey, Robert, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. Good, good. All right, so guys, thanks everyone for jumping on. We got Robert Frucher here from Leisure Time Tours joining us. Thanks for joining us and jumping on, and we're going to talk Pesach. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun with it. So,
All right.
as always, anybody tuning in, feel free to post some comments. If you have questions for Robert or for myself, this is going to be a lot of fun. And in the next 10, 15 minutes, we'll get through a lot of stuff. So, Robert, you're like an avid Pesach guy. You've been around this industry, I think, longer than anybody. How many years has it been? What do we really,
Well,
when did you start in this game, in the Pesach game?
so specifically in the Pesach game, my father was the first person to ever take a non-kosher hotel and make it kosher for Pesach. And that was in 1972. Prior to that, you had year-round kosher hotels, or
Right.
hotels that were open like summer or whatever, but you never had a non-kosher hotel, go kosher for Pesach before that.
And that was in the Catskills, right?
Nope.
Or
It
where was it?
called the Allison Hotel in Miami Beach on Collins Avenue.
Yeah.
That was the first, and I believe it's now a Hojo's. But that was the first hotel.
Wow.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. And that was in 1972. Wow.
correct.
Unbelievable. That's amazing. And then you came in and you started because right now you're running four Pesach programs, one in Italy, Portofino, Italy. Yeah, one in New Jersey, Long Branch, New Jersey. You have one in West Palm Beach at the PGA.
Correct.
And then you got a new one well, I wouldn't say new because you've done programs there before, but you got a program in Arizona
Right.
this year as well in Tapatio Cliffs.
Right.
So before we get into the program, I mean, since you've been around this industry for so long, tell me, like, how has this evolved for people who, haven't been on programs for Pesach programs, for that long? How has this like evolved? Have they got more, luxurious and lavish? Have they got more expensive?
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, if you're going back, obviously to the 70s, it's a dramatic difference. But all kosher food, as kosher food has shifted into, higher and higher ends, and that would be from, it could be from restaurants, it could be from, catering affairs, it could be from supermarkets.
Yeah.
I mean, the food itself has dramatically changed, and so has the expectation level. So for sure, the programs, have changed dramatically over the last number of years, and
So when you see the
you know,
food has changed, are you talking about like the type of food, or you're saying like the type, like, gotten
I'm
more?
I'm even talking about the type of food. I mean, when we first
Yeah.
started, I mean, when you used to talk about the year-round kosher hotels, whether or not they were in, Miami or the Catskills, you're talking about, it was not to say that the food was bad, but it was, it was
Basic.
basic food. It was basic food. It was not,
You're not
there was
getting the
like,
you're not getting the tomahawk steaks and the
yeah,
duck and
it was
the salmon, the choices essentially.
the choices and even the presentation, and I mean, even the fact that, and this goes back many years, but the fact that, it shifted, from breakfast and lunch being served to the table to breakfast and lunch as
Yeah.
buffet. So that even changed. But you can't compare with what from a food standpoint and even from a program standpoint. You can't
Yeah.
compare what a program used to be and what it is today.
Yeah. I mean,
On all,
listen,
you can't compare the price.
right, right, exactly. I mean, listen, even the last 5 to 10 years, they've gotten much bigger and better in many cases. I mean, people really love them every single year. And with that, it comes, you said, costs, increased costs. One of the biggest questions we get is, why do the programs increase the costs every single year? What's the answer to that? Why do the costs go up?
So very
Is
simple.
it yeah,
So we go into multi-year agreements with hotels. Okay, we're not doing a hotel just 1 year and then going to a different
right,
hotel. So right when we start in our contracts, no hotel is signing a multi-year agreement without having annual increases. They're so right off the bat from the hotel standpoint, your costs are going up each year.
got it.
Okay, depending on the hotel, obviously, and how well we can negotiate, will be the percentage that they're going up. Obviously, hotel, I mean, they would like to go up, whatever it is, 15% a year, 20% a year, but that's if they, and I tell them straight out, if you want to do that, then you're not going to have a program,
Right,
in the future. I mean, no one's going to be able to sustain that
right,
type of increase. So they have to be reasonable, and it's a negotiation.
right. Well, then the food costs go up, I'm sure, every year too, right?
The
Yeah,
food costs
yeah,
go up. The
right,
the labor costs have gone up
right,
dramatically.
right.
Um,
And talking about costs, going into like pricing, right? You have 4 properties, and you showcase your pricing right out there. Why do you do that? Obviously, what is the purpose of? I mean, I think it's important, by the way, to showcase your price. One of the reasons why Passover Listings has a pricing tool for everyone that's tuning in to go and price their vacation out. But I think it's important, right? For programs out there to really showcase for both you and them, right? You guys, you don't want to, right? You have your costs and you know what you need to get. But how important is that for you guys?
Listen, this is the way we've done business, since day one. Even obviously before there was an internet, we used to print a brochure. Here's the pricing, mail it out to people. Then we used to fax people. Uh, but for us, I don't quite understand why there are so many programs that don't put their pricing on their website. Only because if somebody is you have programs today that are charging, and we're not one of them, mind you, but you have programs out there that are charging $22,000 more a couple. I mean, if somebody's in the market, and they have a budget, in their mind of $12,000 a couple, why, as a tour operator, do you want to waste time, you know, emailing and quoting? And it makes zero sense to me why everybody doesn't have their pricing, front and center.
Right.
I,
Well,
I,
do you think it's difficult for them to do that because, if someone's coming with multiple rooms or different, circumstances, right? Then there may be a slightly different discounted price in some situations, or is it one price typically for everybody?
Listen, it's obviously, if someone's coming with 22 rooms, and it's a different ball game, and that customer knows it, and
Right.
that that's not to say that you shouldn't have your basic,
It,
your
is it
price,
right? Right.
front and center. Listen,
Yeah.
a customer that is, multiple rooms, they're going to call you for a quote no matter what. Okay, they're not gonna sit there with a calculator and try to figure out their cost.
Right.
They're gonna ask you, okay, how much is this costing me?
Right.
Uh, but I, I think it's only proper, for an operator to show their pricing. This is what we charge, and
Yeah. No, I agree.
and
I
then go
agree.
from.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, obviously there's folks out there that don't, but I think there's, you guys were one of the trailblazers amongst others, to kind of really showcase it year after year after year, which is great. I think it's important, for people to know what's out there, right? It's one of the two biggest things, pricing and reviews, right? Reviews. People want to know from real people who've actually attended your program how the food is, how the entertainers are. So talk about reviews. How important are reviews to you guys, right? Like, I'm sure people call you and they're trying to make decisions between your program and another program,
Right.
right? And they say, obviously you have references, but how important is that, right, for people to get like that honest feedback and frankly to give feedback to you to improve year after year, right? That's your number one goal, right? You want to keep improving and making your programs as best as possible.
Correct. I mean, listen, we send out a an evaluation form after every Passover, and that evaluation form is quite comprehensive. We ask the guests all different types of questions, and yeah, I mean, listen, you know, we always every single year we look, to whatever whatever glitch there was or whatever small issues we looked obviously to fix that,
Hmm.
and we're always looking to improve. We never want to stay static, and
Yeah.
that goes from a review standpoint. I mean, listen, online reviews, that kind of thing is relatively new, in the industry. um, but of course it's important, and I get all the time, people saying, do you have any people that are from, XYZ area that went to your program?
Right.
And, the truth of the matter is, I don't give out people's information nilly-willy, but I will, reach out to old-time customers. I mean, I do have already a list of people that, always say, Robert, I have no problem, give somebody my number. I'm more than
Right.
happy, to tell them about the program. So I have that in advance, but we're not disclosing people's, where, if they're coming, they're not coming, that kind of thing. It's private.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I agree. I think reviews are very important there. I think, in terms of like the next 5 years, right? These things, keep evolving. They keep getting bigger. They keep getting more extravagant in some areas, some cases. I mean, you can tell there's differences between European programs versus American programs. We get into that all day. That could be a whole nother conversation. But from your perspective, having been in this industry for so, so long, probably the longest person that I know who has been in the industry. Where do you think this goes in the next like 5 to 10 years? Do you think we go from like 100 programs to 200, 300 Pesach programs? Do you think we go to more extravagant destinations? How do you see this evolving over the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you think this goes?
Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. So in the US, it's definitely shrinking. Okay, there is, 10 years ago, there were a lot more hotels, being promoted for Pesach in the US than there are today.
Right.
It's getting less, and that is because um, hotels, don't want to do it. They are, they're doing well by themselves, and they figured out that even if they're only running over those dates at 75% occupancy,
Yeah.
but they're getting, on every room. I mean, the room rate will be higher, obviously, on an individual basis. Plus the fact that they could count on, a nice number, from their, food and beverage and bar revenue, that it's not they don't want to do it. And
Yeah. Well, it's
we
also
also,
during these, see, during, I don't know how often it falls out during Easter, right? But I mean, yeah, I mean, you got a lot of,
it always falls out with
right,
Easter. It doesn't fall out with Easter is one time in 7 years.
7 years,
That's
right. So they feel that during that time it's already busy, packed. They can get those prices. So like, why am I going to give it away to an
it.
operator and have 1,000 people
Listen,
at my property?
it's intercession. It's Listen. I've been told by hotels that they're projecting over this period their highest rate of the year, higher than
Right,
Christmas, New Year. You
right.
know,
Right.
you know, and then I tell them, I go, you know what a projection is? It's a projection. It does mean that that's what you're going to get.
Right.
It's very
Exactly.
nice. Some bean counter. Yeah, we're going to run 99% occupancy, and we're going to run, at $800 a room a night.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
call me after, tell me if that projection came through.
That's funny.
Uh,
All right, so let's get into it. So we got Robert. For those tuning in, we got Robert Frucher here from Leisure Time Tours, one of the longest, operators, Pesach program operators out there. Four properties this year, Robert. You got Italy, you got Jersey, you got Florida, and then you got this really new, beautiful resort in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, at Tapatio Cliffs. I believe at Hilton, if I'm not mistaken. So I think everyone knows, about the Jersey one, which is great. You got the Florida PGA that's been around for years. Same with the Jersey. Same thing with the Italy program as well in Portofino. Let's hone in on one that's newish, right? Because you've had a program there in the past, but newish this year in Phoenix, and talk a little bit about that one, right? Let's start with just to give everybody like literally a bird's eye view here. Talk about the hotel itself, the grounds, and the amenities that it provides to the people
okay.
when you get there, and how many people. Also, maybe start with how many people we're expecting to come.
We're expecting 1,000 people to be there. Um, we ran that hotel in 2022, and it was very successful. And the majority of the people wanted to return the following year. We didn't go back from. There was a number of different reasons that we did not return the following year, but it's a great property for a Pesach program. And when I say that, you know, PJ is also, mind you,
Mhm.
but there are, obviously hotels weren't made for Pesach programs. So, a lot of times, you have operators that putting a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
Uh, as far as this hotel, which we have the whole property, which we didn't have in 2022, mind you, but the guests still
Oh,
had a good time.
okay.
We took the whole property, and it's not it's not the nicest hotel in the whole world. It's not a Ritz-Carlton Four Seasons type of property, but it works, and for a Pesach program.
Right.
So number one,
Well,
all rooms.
is it a four? It's a 4 star.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, number one, all the rooms are one-bedroom suites, which, from a Pesach standpoint, huge advantage. Obviously, you know, parents that want privacy, and you have, two or three kids,
Yeah.
where that would force you to take two rooms in a
Right.
regular hotel.
Yeah.
Here, you're putting the kids in the living room,
So
and you
that's
have privacy.
so that's big, right? So you
Very big.
let's hone in on that for a minute, right? You just said all of them are like suites. So you got a bed, a queen bed, or two queen beds, or one king,
It's a
right?
doubles.
Right. Right. And then you got a separate room, a separate living room that
Right.
has a pull-out couch,
Correct. A queen pull-out
a
couch.
queen pull-out couch. So
Right.
that's really big for kids, for like you said, a family of four, a family of five.
Yeah.
They can easily, comfortably, I'd say, fit in that room.
Listen, I tell everybody, when really depends on the age of the kids. So, somebody, kids are,
Yeah.
9, 17, and 15.
Yeah.
I go, listen. I said, yes, you have a door that closes off, but bottom line, it's a 550 square foot one bedroom suite and has one bathroom. So, you make up your mind. I'm not, if you want to be all. I tell people also, this is not, you're not going away for 2 days here. It's
Right, right,
you know,
right, exactly. You
back
got
in
to
the
be
day,
comfortable. Yeah. So
right,
talk about the hotel. So, hotel is it work. You said it works, right? But you do
right.
have a lot of stuff on the hotel, right? You have beautiful pools
Yeah.
and uh, golfing, right?
The hotel's main pool is fantastic. It's a closed off, pool. I mean, I can't even tell you what the square footage is, but it's
Hmm.
huge. Uh, and you have an upper section, a lower section, water slide, cabanas, up the wazoo all around the pool area, and that's where the main hangout obviously was, or is going to be, for this year,
Yeah.
during the but the hotel also has 7 other pools, so we're able actually to be able to accommodate. Also, we have 2 smaller pools that will be able to do separate swimming for men and women for those people that want that, which is nice. And then we have other larger pools that I tell everybody, the main pool, that's going to be busy. That is going to be, the water slide, the kids, everyone's going to be running around,
Yeah.
you know. But if you're a couple and you want some, peace and quiet,
Yeah.
there are 2 pools, right in the main building that, they're very nice and very, very quiet. Kids don't go there because, they don't have those type of facilities.
Right.
So, by the main pool, we also have the barbecue going right off the pool deck. It has a basketball court also right there. So there's a lot going on by the main pool, which is fantastic. From a space standpoint, meeting space standpoint, it's great. We're able to accommodate both indoor and outdoor dining, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, in April, Arizona, the weather is magnificent. It's, it's 80s. And, when we were there in 22, people actually, we had so many people that, they chose with us, you could choose. We asked you right away, do you want the indoor or you want the outdoor dining?
Right.
When people got to the hotel, and they saw the outdoor setup, a lot of them wanted to change from indoor to outdoor, but we didn't. Unfortunately, at that point, we didn't have the space to switch them.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah, I mean, it's
what's to do around the prom? This year you got 4 days consecutive Holomoe, so there's a lot to do. So tell us, like, I'm sure there's a bunch of hikes you can go on, beautiful hikes with waterfalls. But
beautiful.
what other things, like
Yeah,
stuff that you can do around the property?
yeah. So beautiful 18-hole golf course, right on the property. Okay, driving range, the
Yeah.
works. You have tennis courts,
Yeah.
pickleball. Um, you have it's a great area just to walk around. And if you really are into hiking, right behind the hotel are hiking trails right up the mountains.
Amazing.
So you don't have to go anywhere, travel.
Easy enough for kids or
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah.
great,
I mean,
amazing.
yeah, not taking a stroller up there, mind
No.
you, but yeah. So,
Very good.
I mean, I don't know too many kids that like to hike. I gotta
Right.
tell you, That's,
Most of them will probably be by the pool
yeah,
playing some basketball. Yeah. Okay, cool. So the hotel looks great. That's the biggest thing I think that people always care. Let's talk about the food, right? That's another big thing. People love the food. Talk about the detail. Like, try to be. I would love to get a sense of what you're having. If you were to, like, talking about different menus of the types of food you're having, the meats. What are you serving, and who's also catering it?
so it's Prestige Caterers who we've worked with for, I can't even tell you how long time. I mean,
Yeah.
35 something at various hotels. So, they know us very well. We know them, and they're the menu, they are actually still honing for what it's going to be this year. They're looking to do, we're always looking to do different things, and spice it up.
Right.
So we're always trying to, you want to wow the guests.
Right.
That's the name of the game. And that's what we try to do. Whether it's in our regular breakfast, lunch, and dinner operation versus you have the daytime tier, you have the nighttime tier, you have the barbecue.
So what does that
You know,
look like? Someone goes to breakfast, they have a breakfast, and then there's a tea room opening up, right?
well, actually, Donnie, there's a pre-breakfast for your early risers.
Okay.
Okay, there, they can. Um, it's pretty much like a miniature, big breakfast, but it's much more smaller. You're not going to have that many people there,
Hmm.
but those people that want to take an early morning hike or whatever, grab your yogurt parfait,
Hmm.
eat omelet station going on if you want an omelet. And, we have the barista station and, go off and, start your
Right.
day, whatever you want. But listen, that's when you say what's changed, those are the things that,
Right.
have dramatically.
Right.
Listen, a tea room back in the day, that's what it was. It was tea tea, coffee. Maybe you can grab a Coke,
Right.
and a
Right.
piece of cake.
Right.
That's
That's
today.
it. Nowadays, I mean, they're extravagant.
You
I
can have
mean,
a meal.
yeah,
Really, you
yeah,
could have you don't even need to go to the dining room. Sushi's going on all day. The pizza station's going on all day. You have the freezer case with the ice cream where you
yeah.
could scoop it and then soft
Yeah.
serve, and then you have plushies
Wild.
and
It's wild. It's wild.
yeah.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, so that's good to hear. Prestige, well known. I actually went, to your to they delicious food last year. They were at the Evermore line. They catered the Evermore. Great.
Correct.
Um, what about the entertainment this year, right? People love to go away to really, enjoy obviously their family, but also just to have some downtime to laugh or to
Sure.
just action-packed stuff throughout the day, throughout the night, even, right? Some people don't want to just lounge around at the pool. They want to actually have stuff to do.
Right.
So what about the programming and entertainment? How is that in the
I'll,
Arizona Phoenix
I'll,
program?
I'll get to the entertainment, but I just want to take a couple of steps back because the beautiful thing about Arizona,
Yeah.
okay, is on Holomoid. I mean, you can do major touring. I've taken. I've been to Arizona many, many times. I've run many, many programs. But back in the day when I would just go on vacation,
Hmm.
I've taken, a four-seater plane, with my wife, to the Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
you know, and then when I went with my whole family, they have bigger planes like a 40 passenger, and it lands by the Grand Canyon, and then you go on a bus, and they take you all down to the bottom, and then you go. There's the Colorado River on the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and
All
then they
right.
put you in a okay, and then you go down by the with the raft also. I mean, there's
Yeah.
substance,
Right.
not just listen, Florida's great, love it, been there since, like you said,
Yeah.
1972, okay, but most people, in Florida, they're not budging.
Right.
They're at the hotel,
Right.
they've been to Florida 42 different times, and
Yeah.
there's no touring. You're not touring
Right.
anything there, you
Right.
know here, if you're adventuresome, there's people. When we were there, they took a hot air balloon
Yeah.
in the desert, you know that they could do,
Right.
or the ATVs and all that kind of cool stuff. So depending
Right.
on the type of family you are and how you want to how adventuresome you want to be, there's a lot of options, which
Right.
is
No, that's I love that there's always something for everybody, which is nice. If you want to lounge by the pool in great weather, because Arizona
right.
that time is very nice, you can do that, right? If you want to go on a hike, you can do that. If you want to go, like you said, ATV and go out, yeah, because Grand Canyon's not too far from them. You could do that. It's
Right.
nice. That's great. That's so amazing.
Yep.
Okay, so let's switch gears. Let's go to programming entertainment.
Sure.
Who are you having? And
So
what is their stuff to do during the day for people that want to go out
okay.
and do stuff?
So we're very lucky because we're able since we have multiple hotels, we can, work with an entertainer and basically, take him for all the days of Pesach, pretty much, and keep him, between our facilities. So we're doing that with God Elbaz,
Yep, of
who everybody knows,
course.
and Yochai Spander. Yochai Spander, I didn't hear of him, but then when people started telling me all about him, I mean,
Yeah, he's big.
he's
Yeah,
big. He's an amazing Israeli comedian, and yeah, he's up there
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So we're putting him at all of our hotels, and also who we had last year was Tal Bachman.
He was great.
So Tal, yeah,
Fantastic.
Israeli singer. he does. He does. I mean, this is I believe this is all free that he does these things, but he goes to the army bases and
Mm-hmm.
performs for the soldiers in Israel.
Amazing.
Uh, and these guys obviously they get very into it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he has some
Yeah.
fantastic
Are
clips.
are are you gonna have Tal and God perform together, or are they gonna be separate
No,
nights?
no, no, separate
Separate
nights.
nights. Okay. Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, he was. He lit up the whole
Yeah,
floor. Amazing. Yeah, and you're having some comedians, and
sure.
that's great. That's great.
We have Elon Gold at Ocean Place, not at Ocean Place, at the
Yep.
PGA. Uh, he actually um, he actually could only give us one night because he was booked another. Usually, you know, contact these guys, very very early, and
Yep.
and I try to deal with them, for the whole
Of course.
Pesach for for all nights.
Yeah. No, of course. Terrific. Yeah, action packed. And then throughout the day, I'm sure you have some stuff. I remember, you have some painting
Yeah,
classes and stuff.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
people to
And
everyone, the kids love that stuff.
yeah,
I mean,
we
it's
have
unbelievable.
Naomi
Yeah.
Nachman does
Naomi,
all the
not chopped
cooking.
competitions. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nonstop.
yes, we have an artist that's with us the whole time, and she's doing, the paint classes and all those kind of things. And obviously, we have kids shows every day happening, and we also have the inflatables, and it's
You got it all. So talk about the kids game. One of the things that when people go away, they want to enjoy with their family, but they also want to enjoy, getting a drink by the pool and relaxing. So there is a kids camp, of course, there that they can throw their kids into camp at what time? At
9:30.
9:30, and then they're there taking care of. And this is all kids, all age
All
ranges, all
age ranges. I mean, we have infant care for infants because obviously there is not, that's more like kind of like a babysitting type of thing.
yeah,
But yeah, day camp is actually, it's functioning, 4 years old, then it goes into the teen program, where we try as best as possible to
yeah.
do teen activities for the
Mhm.
teens,
Mhm.
and then obviously adult entertainment.
Right. Amazing. Amazing. That's big, right? Because you really want to have the kids, taken care of and enjoy and relax and have a good
Happy,
time.
happy parents.
Happy parents, yes, that's right. So I think what on everyone's mind is the price, right? So what is for a standard room here or a standard suite, I should say here. What's the cost for two adults?
Okay, so for two adults for the whole Pesach,
Yeah,
uh, tax service charge all in is 15.3. That's the starting price for a couple.
and that includes everything. That's
Yeah,
this taxes, fees, tips, the whole shindig,
you're
the whole shebang. You're done. Got it. Gotcha. And then obviously, if kids are included, kids are involved, then
you
that's
have
on
a
top of
right, right.
things.
You have a
Right.
third in the room, fourth person. Yeah,
Right.
there's extra couple. It's all in.
And that's a
Uh,
great. That's a great price for an Arizona U.S.
yeah,
program. Yeah.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is able. We were able to negotiate a pretty good deal there, and we don't have to charge
Right.
what people call mean rates.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Terrific. Um, Robert, anything else to add? I mean, I think we captured almost everything. This was very extensive, longer than
Yeah,
I think our normal ones. But if you guys are looking to go away this year, please check them out at leisuretimetours.com. You can always go on our website, passoverlistings.com, and search for Leisure Time Tours. They got four properties. The one that we're most focused about right now, where we're talking about, is the Arizona property in Phoenix at the Hilton in Tapatio Cliffs. Take a peek.
oh,
A lot of people going there.
one
Yeah.
thing, Donnie. I didn't even tell you this, but pretty much Ocean Place and PGA are done.
They're sold out.
We're yeah.
Almost sold out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then this is really going to be the one. All right. Terrific. Well, take a look at them. I am heading there too myself. This is going to be exciting. It's only a hop, skip, and jump from LA, but we are super, super excited to be attending, and we're really, really excited. So anybody checking it out, check out Leisure Time Tours. And Robert, as always, thanks for jumping on.
You're
Appreciate it.
very welcome. Thanks for having me, Donnie.
Of course. Take care.
Bye bye.